welcome to building HR systems that work for women. I am so excited for this conversation. Kathryn, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, my name is Kathryn Aspromonti. I'm Chief Revenue Officer at Authentic Consulting Group, and I'm also the owner of BeYOUtifully Grounded, which is a women in business community.
That's right. And what do you focus on in your women in business community?
Oh, I focus on helping women that want to accomplish it all to keep themselves together, to remind themselves of who they are authentically, and enable them to produce maximum results at work and at home.
Why has HR historically been a women led space? And if you agree with that statement, why do you think that's still true today?
I would say, in my experience, HR has always been centered around people, things like communication, empathy, conflict resolution, culture building, communication, all areas where women historically have both been encouraged and sometimes natural leaders in that space. The second part to that is do I think that's true today? I would say um, based on my experience, what's changing now is that HR isn't just the people function, if you will. It's also now part of the business strategy, the workforce design, and also has a significant impact on revenue if it's used correctly. And I
Yes.
feel that women are still leading in HR because they've mastered the art of both emotional intelligence and operational excellence, and those are two really powerful tools to bring together.
Oh, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. Okay, so before I go to the next question, why do you think women are wired that way to be operationally focused?
Ah, boy, that's a good question. I think they're wired that way just because, again, I think naturally women are just inclined to be able to master the art of multitasking and handling multiple systems, multiple processes, multiple activities at the same time. And so when I think about operational excellence, I think about not just focusing on the task at hand, but all the other systems and all the other people and all the other processes that are directly influenced or related to that.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I agree with that 100%. And for me, what I think about and what I ground myself on is that my body's always multitasking as a woman, right? Like I have the ability to
Yes.
drive a car, take a phone conversation, and produce a human being at the same time. Do you know any other species that could do that?
I do not.
No, it is just us. So when we bring our whole selves to work, that's what we bring. We bring that rhythm, that attention to detail, the ability to compartmentalize and focus. And it's very natural for us to be very successful in human resources and human resources technology because of that. So I digress a little bit, but that's like, I really feel that in my bones and my spirit. So
I
thank
agree
you for,
100%. Spot
thank you.
on.
Okay, back to you. From what you've seen, how do HR systems support and or drain women leaders?
Yeah, this is another great question because I think if it's not architectured properly, that drain is real. And Lord knows we don't need extra stress or work in our lives these days. I would say, based on my experience, that the right systems can and do create a higher level of visibility and also leverage. So when you think about clean data, automation, transparency, they all reduce kind of the emotional labor, if you will, that women leaders have to carry. So when you have either the wrong system or the right system that's been configured, not properly configured, let's say, it creates a lot of noise, which then leads to manual processes, unclear reporting, and disconnected tools that force leaders to compensate by having to use their time to fix and troubleshoot, and that can become draining. Technology really and truly should amplify, in particular, women's in leaders and the leadership in general, but not consume it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And when I think about the great work that Zadon is doing in this space of enhancing existing technology. I think that it lends itself to such pride to be able to support an organization like Zadons because that is what they do. They amplify technology and allow existing technology systems to be able to run at a rapid rate. And so I feel like that is right what women need is to be able to use technology that is meeting them where they are so that they can continue to multitask and continue to automate the things that are super important, which is the nurturing side of the
Mm.
business, right? It is the scheduling of human beings. Like that is like the most important thing out there when you think about going to work. When am I starting? When am I ending? When am I getting back in the car, getting to my family? And so when you think about what Zadons and other HRIS organizations do in our space, just it makes me happy. So kudos to Zadons. Okay. What piece of technology do you use today? Doesn't have to be HR related or it can be that makes your life easier as a woman.
If you'd asked me this a year ago, my answer probably would have been different. Today, I would say AI. And a woman from my generation, it doesn't come easily to say that. The time that it saves, the perfectionist writing an email that takes me, an hour now takes me 5 minutes because I write the draft, I use its assistance to clean it up. And the same really with everything from spreadsheets and planning. It really has been an incredible time saver. It helps me to stay on task and not have to sacrifice time
Mhm.
outside of work for things that are important in my life.
I love that. Great response there. So, what else do we want our listeners to hear from you today in regards to women and technology?
I think my recommendation is just to embrace it, is to understand it and see where, and I think AI again is a perfect example of that. Whether you're using it to synthesize information or you're just toying a little bit of maybe pressure testing strategy.
Mhm.
I think that by leveraging those tools that can help you just to become more polished, more efficient, save time, but not sacrifice any of the quality or compromise the output, I say lean in.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah, we all should lean in. And if folks have questions and get concerned about folks in our generation with this AI, I'm really intimidated. So I was really surprised that you said that because I'm really scared of AI. What should I do if I'm scared to play around with AI? What would you recommend my first like stress test be?
Outside of kind of jumping in and starting simple, maybe with something like a chat GPT or Copilot, play with it a little bit and see what it can do. And that's really what I did. I dipped my toe in personally with some home projects, and then I realized that it was capable of so much more. Little by little, I just started trying things and was just amazed by the results, and more importantly, kind of the time and the accuracy of what it is that I'm leveraging it for.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. I'm sure that our listeners would appreciate that tidbit because I know that I did. Thank you.
Thank you.